news isn't too hot. Still got the rookies learning their way, getting their feet wet. But unfortunately, the way the NFL is, injuries come. And an injury that happened to Zeke Vandenburgh, 6'3", 235, linebacker, Illinois. A guy I was looking at to say, hey, you know what? Maybe there's a shot. At least he can bring us some competition. He's a real legitimate linebacker. We got some other guys that are edge players that maybe can come in and create competition and depth at the inside linebacker position. But he's done for the year with the knee injury, and that sucks. You know, it always sucks. Poor kid. But it does add a little intensity to the spotlight on the linebacker position for the Dolphins. Now, I don't really have any concerns with this defense. Read the comments all the time. Some people say, well, what's going to happen? Is this defense going to figure out Fangio's thing? What's going to be the install? Is going to be slow? We got a lot of vets. I mean, when you got Howard and you got Ramsey and Holland on the back, a lot of the problems that can happen are going to be taken away and not really be something you should focus on. And then inside, you got Chubb, who knows the system really well, who can talk to the guys inside, whether it's Phillips, Wilkins, or whoever, Sealer. And then Long, smart guy, played for the Titans. And there's a lot that the Titans do that Fangio does. And so I am not really concerned at all about the acclimation process. A little bit about the depth of the D tackle spot, that 0-1 technique over the center and next to a big boy inside on short down situations of goal lines. Davis will take that for the most of the season. But, you know, what happens if he gets injured, or who's the next big boy going to bring inside? I don't want to see Wilkins, and I like him better outside. I don't want to see Sealer inside. I like him outside. So Brandon Piley, I got to figure out how to spell his name, pronounce his name. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's doing, but I don't see that as something I'm really that concerned with yet. We can always bring in a vet in later on to fill that role too. Safety, depth, maybe something there. Who's going to be that long-term mirror safety with Holland? So I really don't have any concerns, major concerns, in any units for this defense. But the linebacker position is one that gets me going like this a little bit with my fingers. Not to say that Vandenburgh going down is making me do that, but it just adds a little emphasis, a little push to the depth guys to really step up, because Long has his injury history. Vrabel noted that he has not taken care of himself, and he's been injured a lot, and he was injured in the offseason. So the guy's really talented. I mean, Orlando Roberts, we all know how good he was inside, shooting and attacking, being physical. That's the way Long is. But he's faster, and he can go sideline to sideline, and he can cover better. He's not a great cover guy, but he's a capable cover guy. It's going to be a substantial improvement if he's in. And then the good news that I want to get to is I've been doing a lot of studying on last season still. And I did my Phillips season-long review of him to really get a feel for myself and to present it. I think I'm going to do it on Baker and Wilkins, because I think Baker is a guy that fans kind of slept on, and I wasn't too high on him. 20 and 21, he was good at blitzing, but he couldn't attack, stack, and shed. He was always blown up. He was missing a lot of tackles. And, he was good at the dog position, but not great in coverage. But he took a nice step forward. So I like Baker in the role that Fangio wants him at. I like Long there. And we're going to be running loads of nickel. And there's going to be the two starters in our nickel look. But the NFL is finicky with its injuries. We just found out with Vandenburgh. And then Long's got the injury history, and he's 225. And Baker's a small guy, 225, small guy. And so the depth is going to play. Who's going to step up? And a lot of people are high in the comments on VG. I love VG. I've been standing up for him a very long time. I was very sad to see him go. But I love him in those short down run looks, third down and long, where they figure they're going to run a ball, goal line, whatever. But VG's weakness is missing tackles, coverage, and he's really not fast sideline to sideline. Not terrible, but I don't know if I want him in that middle linebacker position, dropping in for coverage, having to make that tackle in space, and having to run from sideline to sideline. So maybe he does. I'm hoping he does. But but I see him more as a spot duty guy. And that really Duke Riley's good. He's a good rotational guy. I like what he brings as far as a solid journeyman type guy. I think he's a little better than a journeyman. I like Duke Riley a ton, but just not starting long term. And so Baker I'm happy with. Long I'm happy with. But Tindall is going to have to step up. And Zeke going down just adds a little bit tick up from that. Now, maybe we sign in a guy. There's guys out there, but it gets harder and harder. Linebacking position is very, very difficult to find guys to play that. Now, with Fangio's system, it's a coverage system where everyone's covering each other and moving. So it's not the same as other systems because there's a lot of help coming, but still, Tindall in 22 was so bad, he was in for a game or so and then disappeared for the whole season. So his growth is going to have to be pretty good in case, or it's going to make Long and Baker staying there for the season absolutely critical, or VG stepping up, or them finding someone else to fit the bill to play this middle linebacker or, inside linebacker position. And so I wouldn't say I'm concerned, but I think that as a fan, I have really, we need to highlight the linebacking position. I think really we all need to be diligent about the linebacking position, watching it and hoping Tindall and Van Ginkel step up and somebody else can be found. You need more than 2 starting linebackers when they're small like that and one's got an injury history. So ultimately, it's not a big deal. I feel bad for the kid a ton. It sucks, man. Making it to an NFL team and in the first couple of days of practice, you blow your knee out. It's terrible. But as a Dolphin fan, we need to hope we see some real good news about Tindall, because that would be such comfort if we can get there. So that's really the whole kit and caboodle on that. We're not going to see anything big till Tuesday when the vets come, and then maybe a couple days after that as everybody gets acclimated. They got the bodies warm up before they get some contact. So we're in the lull before the storm, the quiet before the storm, the eye of the hurricane, but it's going to heat up soon, and it is very, very, very critical that we can get through this preseason training camp healthy. So it'll be very interesting to see. Anyway, guys, that's the whole thing. Not much. This is my last podcast before I change everything around here. I'm going to do a facelift, not on this face, but on the area here, and then try to really do a better job for you. Got a whole new format, which can be more, presentable and coherent and in-depth, but still controlling things to make it easy for you guys and enjoyable for you. At least I hope. We'll see. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in a couple days with the new look. Hopefully you'll be good. Curtis saying, thanks for stopping by. And before I go, I want to give you a shout out. Shout out to Ace per Head. Because without the two of you, this show ain't going down. Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.